Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we explore the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Milan Kohut, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced, the lessons learned, and the strategies fueling future growth. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Jinny Liu. Jinny is a creative content producer and UGC, user-generated content, creator specializing in beauty, fashion, and lifestyle brands. Balancing a full-time tech marketing role, she crafts engaging videos and photos that help brands grow their online presence across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Jinny combines creativity with strategy to connect brands with diverse audiences authentically. Today, we'll explore her journey in content creation and how she uses UGC to tell powerful brand stories. Jinny, let me officially welcome you to Founders Future.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to kick off our conversation.
Pleasure to have you anytime. Awesome. Jinny, you might already know I always love to start at the very beginning. So please take me back in time before you even started this company, this business. What were you doing before that? What were you up to? And eventually, what motivated you to start a company?
Yeah, so I think it all started where a lot of founders' journeys started, which is TikTok and social media. I was scrolling on my phone one day and it was the middle of the work week. At this point, I had been working in corporate marketing for about a year full time right out of college, maybe 2 years at that point. And my role is really both quantitative and qualitative in terms of measuring success. But I really wanted and needed something that was more creative. I really needed a creative outlet. So, not that I felt stuck in my role, but I really was exploring options that could really dive into my entrepreneurial and creative spirit. And so I'm just scrolling TikTok one day and I see a video by Emma Lorey, who is a fellow UGC creator. And she's talking about how you can make money from home, make money from doing content, and just be your own boss. So I literally did everything that she said in that video. Create a Twitter profile, create a portfolio, just get things around the house and start making videos with them. So that is verbatim how I got started. Was I saw a video, I was inspired by it, and I did whatever she asked me to. So maybe it was like delusional, maybe it was like naive of me, but I've been in it for about 3 years now, and it's really, I had no idea that it was going to take me from 0 to 100. So yeah, that's my
Yeah,
journey.
absolutely. I mean, this goes for all those skeptics out there who feel like everything that you
Totally.
see on the internet, nah, that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I absolutely love the fact that you must have had this kind of like the moment of realization. Working in corporate, yeah, it would definitely take you far if you actually put the effort and time into it. But you knew yourself at that point, and you knew that you need that creative outlet. So, I
Totally.
love that you decided to pursue it. Awesome, perfect. Let's switch to what that business is right now. Today, how does it look like? What is the core offer? What does it look like for somebody to work with you?
Yeah. So I work with, I mean, at this point, dozens of B2C brands ranging from beauty, lifestyle, skincare. I've worked with apps. I've worked with in-person experiences like restaurants and breweries, things like that. And for me, I think the most important part when I first started was how many collaborations can I get? It was more of the quantity versus quality. So I was really focused on the dollar amount and maybe the number of clients that I had under my belt because I was just getting started. And I really wanted to get those brand logos in my portfolio and, that social proof, right? So
Yeah.
at that point, that was my priority. And since then, where I'm at right now is really the quality and the relationships that I've cultivated long term with existing brands. So at one time, 3 years ago, I was working with like 10 brands at a time. Nowadays, I probably work with between 2 to 5. And I feel like that's really my sweet spot that allows me to do the quality work and produce the best content and cultivate the best long-term relationships with brands and agencies. So, yeah, that's just what I'm focused on right now is really creating the best content I can for my existing relationships and
Awesome. Awesome. And now you want me to pick one question?
yeah,
Jesus, based on what you just said, I got several. But okay, let me
yeah.
start with this. I absolutely love the idea that you just presented, going from quantitative to qualitative. What do you think changed? Like, what was that point that actually made you feel like, okay, I need to do this differently?
Yeah, I think at some point I saw myself stretching myself too thin. And actually, if you're thinking just kind of bigger picture, at that point I was working a corporate job. And I don't know if you know this, but right now I still am. I still have my full-time nine
Wow.
to five, and like nothing has changed for me. I think a lot of creators, they go all into UGC and quit their nine to fives because, they just want to really lock in. I have not done that. I still really very much want to build my career outside of UGC. But really what changed it for me was I stopped operating on like a scarcity mindset. And again, I stopped stretching myself too thin. I told myself, do you actually have the capacity this week to do your nine to five? And then also edit your videos, film content, interact with
Yeah.
brands. Are you going to be able to compartmentalize all of this? And the answer was yes, but also with a caveat of I can only do it for certain brands and certain opportunities. So over the past year or so, or I want to say even 2 years, I probably take about 50% of the opportunities that I am given. I'm very selective about the brands and the companies that I work with. And if you told me 3 years ago when I was starting, I would be like taking every opportunity that came into my inbox, whether it was paid or unpaid or, you know, anything, right? But at this point, I'm super, super selective with the people and the brands and the clients I want to work with.
I got you. Okay, and just to clarify, you said that you're taking about 50% of the opportunities that are being presented to you. Would you say
Mhm.
that that's because you're trying to be selective, or maybe just because of those 50%, that's all that's basically your ICP, your ideal customer?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's a healthy mix of both, really. I mean,
Mm,
sometimes, again, it's the evaluation of the ROI, right? Like, what's the
yeah.
time and effort that I give into this? Am I going to get what I want in return? And if the answer is or maybe or no, then it's an absolute no. I feel like
Yeah.
I really subscribe to the saying, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. So,
Yeah, I
you
got you.
know, sometimes you just get a vibe and you're like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, yeah.
No, I get it. And also, I mean, before we jumped on a pod, I definitely did check your Instagram and socials and your website. And I think I saw somewhere that you're still in that role that you mentioned. I wasn't sure if this information is up to date, but if it is, I mean,
Yeah,
that's a hell of a job. So, good for
absolutely.
you. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. And just to give our listeners a bit more context on what it actually looked like for you, you said at this stage, at this point in time, you work like 2 to 5 companies tops. Is that what you said?
Yeah, in a
At a
month,
time.
I
Yeah.
would say, yeah, 2 to 5.
Gotcha. Okay, so on average, like how long does it take for a company to actually become your client? There has to be some initial phase to it. And how long
Mhm.
is the actual collaboration?
Yeah, so if it's a new client, I would say a typical onboarding process for them is a kickoff call. So they'll reach out to me via X or Twitter or, my email or wherever else they may find me. And we typically have, 30-minute, hour-long kickoff call where I kind of learn about, what they're looking for in terms of content and what their offering is for me. And we get to just be on the same page and like be more aligned in that regard. And then from there, say a brand is looking for 5 pieces of content. Typically, my turnaround for that is anywhere from 5 to 7 days to 2 weeks. And then afterwards, I will send them the content. We have a brief discussion over email about how they feel about it. And then I obviously put it in their court of, if you like the content, you want to move forward with a long-term relationship, happy to do that. And then from there, you cultivate that relationship.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that. Perfect. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're the only one taking those sales calls and making sure that the lead becomes a client.
Yeah.
But is that also the same for client acquisition, or how do you go
Yeah.
about that?
So actually this is like the number one question that people ask me is where do you find these clients, right? And the number one thing is X, so Twitter. I typically don't do outreach. So 95% of the clients that I work with, it's purely inbounds. So I don't do outbounds anymore. I haven't done that since my first year doing UGC. So most of the opportunities that I find, they're, Twitter. I just drop my portfolio, hey, I'm interested. I'm based in Austin, Texas, would love to work with you. And that's usually where those clients come in. But I have not done outreach for a long time. It is a blessing. And I am a one-woman show, so I am the person taking those intro calls and emailing my clients, following up with them, delivering the content, things like that. And I actually, funny enough, I got reached out to by an agency that specializes in doing outreach for UGC creators recently.
Mm,
And they were really surprised that I didn't need any help because they were like, your content is excellent. We just want to help you. And I was like, you know what? I really love everything in this business from top to bottom. I think it would just be different if I had somebody taking over, even just a little bit, because
yeah.
I feel like this is all me and I love that. I can't complain about any of it, and I love doing it all. So yeah, it's a
Gotcha.
one-woman show.
Gotcha. You don't want to miss that personal touch that you have right
No,
now. I get
totally.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, Jenny, let's move on to what's going to happen in the future. If you think about the next, let's say, a year or two, what is
Mhm.
the vision that you set for yourself, or maybe some goals, targets?
Yeah. I think that's a thought that always kind of varies from time to time. Like sometimes I love it so much, but if you can believe it, I do want to take a step back sometimes, just because I'm constantly creating content. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up. It's the last thing that I think about when I go to sleep, right? And I feel like there's that quote for people that own their own business of if you're not working a 9 to 5, you're working a 24/7. And
Yeah.
sometimes like I just want to take a step back from the 24/7. But I would say overall, my thought is that in the next year or so, I do want to scale in terms of the caliber of clients that I work with. So bigger, better brands. In terms of like monetarily, I want to do better. I think each year I have doubled my income, so I'm looking to do that this year and the next. So that is obviously a top goal of mine. And also just to maintain like my work-life balance. I feel like I've been really, really good at sustaining that and
Mm,
avoiding burnout. So I think just to keep that top of mind for me as well, because I think I perform at my best and I produce the best content when I am avoiding burnout. So
yeah.
yeah, those are
And
some
it's also not easy to avoid burnout as a one-woman show. We have to say that.
not at all, not at all. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I'm just drowning. Like, why did I sign up for this? And then I know this is another quote. I love quotes, so I'm going to give you another one. There's quote that says, like, don't complain about too much food at the table when your goal was to eat. And I think about
Mm,
that all the time when I have just like so much work and I'm like, there's like 30 videos due in like 2 weeks and like all this content to shoot. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. But then I think
Yeah.
about, I have all these amazing clients, I have all these opportunities. Like, I am so lucky to be in the position that I'm in and to be partnering with all these amazing brands. So sometimes I just really need to take a moment and like step back and just be gracious about it. And then I can really lock in and deliver the content.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people listening to this who are actually either already in this industry or they want to start doing their own UGC kind of thing.
Mhm.
So when you were talking about how you want to scale in the future, what does that actually mean to you? Does it mean that you want to target higher end companies and still do it
Mhm.
yourself, or does that mean that you want to build a marketing team and take over that part, or maybe salespeople? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. To take a minute and think about it.
Yeah.
I think I would be open to it. I would say I leave it up in the future me's hands. I think anything can happen, and I'm not opposed to, maybe perhaps starting my own agency, collaborating with another creator to, possibly do something new, maybe even stepping into like a creative strategist role where I'm managing other creators. Like that would be pretty awesome as well.
Mm,
I think change is scary, but I love it. And I think it's necessary for things to grow and for a business to grow. So I think once I reach that place of like, ooh, this feels like really comfortable and like stagnant, and I feel like I'm hitting a plateau, maybe I think that's when I think I'll like reach out to maybe my internal network to see, what are the other opportunities I can really tap into that, might not just be creating, but might be something else I can leverage my score.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, you said it, you're definitely going to need some time to think about it, but you answered it perfectly. So thank you for that. And
Yeah.
yeah, let's just do a quick little closing lightning round, okay? I'm going to give you two more
Okay.
questions. Now, what is one tool or piece of technology that has been a game changer for you, if any?
I'm gonna keep it really simple. Like Google Docs, Google Sheets. Like it is my OG, my one and only. I use
Yeah.
it for scripting. I use it for keeping track of clients and collaborations. I love it. It's tried and true. It's old
Gotta
school.
stay organized. I
Yeah.
got you. Okay. And this is one of my most favorite questions. If you could magically snap your fingers and sit across the table from yourself, but yourself from like 5 or 6 years ago, and you could give yourself like the best piece of advice, what would that be?
Oh gosh.
I put you on the
Um,
spot.
I know. Well, I'm 26 now, and 5 years ago I was 21 and possibly about to graduate from college, so it was a big time for me. I think my advice for the younger me at that time would be don't move back home, move out, be broke, be uncomfortable, and you will grow so much. I sincerely think that the reason why I was able to do this was that I was at possibly one of the lowest points in my life, and I decided to take the leap and, jump headfirst into this. And because of that, I have been able to move halfway across the country, have my own apartment, move out of my parents' house, and, really start living the life that I envisioned in my head. So, um, in order to build the life that you want, you have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's the advice that I would give the younger me is just do the hard thing and don't be comfortable. Just step out of
Yeah.
your comfort zone and do it.
Yeah, I think sooner or later everybody has to learn that lesson. We gotta step out of the comfort zone. There is no way around it. So I
Mhm.
love that. Awesome, perfect. I think that pretty much wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. So a big thank you to you, Jinny, for taking the time to speak with me today.
Yay. Thank you
Now,
so much.
if
This is fun.
if somebody wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, perhaps work with you, what is the best way to go about that?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me at contentginny@gmail.com or reach out to me on Twitter, contentginny. I am always available to you and yeah, happy to chat about about anything content related.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, content, Jenny. We got it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. For our listeners now, if today's conversation inspired you, same as us, be sure to subscribe to Founders Future on your favorite platform. And if you're a business owner, preferably a coach, consultant, or an agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing, visit closers.io, get in touch with our team, hop on a call, and discover how exactly we took our company from zero to over 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing, and I'll see you on the next one.